Alright, you guys, here we are in the Casa de Erickson, and this is, or should I say, welcome to our kitchen. I've got a little demonstration I want to show you here. I'm going to start with the surface level of it all, and then I'm going to dive deeper and deeper as this video goes on. So bear with me here and follow along the best you can. What I'm going to show you right now is one full day's worth of food laid out right here. This is 1,700 calories. Give or take a couple, but primarily this is like really 1,700 calories. And this is about how much you should be consuming on a daily basis. Unless you are a guy or someone who is a bit bigger, you're going to have to eat a little bit more. If you're someone who is very petite, small, lean female, you may need to have just a tiny less than this. And especially if you're not working out. But if you are working out, you should be eating a little bit more. All right, so this, like I said, 1,700 calories. I'm going to dive deeper into this in just a moment. But first, what I want to do is show you 1,800 calories right here. That is 1,800 calories, believe it or not. This, 1,700 calories. So we're talking about less calories in all of this. Yes, I'm talking about the whole entire container of this. I'm talking about all of that. I'm talking about all of this. All of it. 1,700. That's not going to fill you up for an entire day. You might get your calories worth of food if that was all you ate, but that will not fill you up, and that sheer amount of food, it's just not sustainable. You will not, of course, be full, but you also will not be teaching your body how to do good things, and it's not nutritious food. So now I'm going to break this down a little bit more. Speaking about nutritious food versus not nutritious food, how do you tell the difference? Well, you want protein, you want good quality fats that are like, say, omega-3s and not and maybe unsaturated fats, but not quite so much saturated, and definitely not trans fats. All right, so that's your fats. We talked about protein. We want protein. And then we also need good quality carbs. Well, our quality of carbs here, these strictly sugar. Just pure all-out sugar. And I don't think I have to explain too much on that. I think you guys all know that. This one does have 17 grams of protein if you ate the whole can or jug or whatever you want to call it. But that's very little throughout your entire day. That's less than one meal's worth of protein. Also, the fat, 61 grams. Holy smokes, that's an entire day's worth, and 36 of which is saturated. That is crazy. All right, and then carbs, 127 grams, 99 grams of sugars if you were to eat this whole entire thing per day. And look at this, the size. It's the size of my fist. That's it. That's just not going to cut it. So the quality there, super, super poor. All right, now, let's take a look at the opposite. Over here, this would be a great way to eat. And what I've done is I've broken it down into the different categories. Carbs are one thing we just talked about over there. Proteins, we just discussed. And we're going to break it down even more. And then fats. All right. And then, of course, there are your 0 calorie or super low calorie foods around the left to the back. So, again, I'm going to dive deeper now. So stick with me if you'd like to learn more. Over here, I've got good quality of carbs. So we've got a banana, which is slightly on the sugary side of fruit, but one of these per day isn't going to be the end of the world, unless, of course, you are a more petite female, someone who is really getting super close to your goal, you're very lean, then maybe a half a banana is about right for you, or simply another fruit, like an orange or an apple. But also, if we were to put bread into your diet, it would definitely not be white bread. Sourdough is somewhat exceptional, but really, if we have bread in your diet, it's going to be more like a Dave's Killer bread that's wheat. This right here is the 21 whole grains bread. All right, and then of course, oatmeal is a bit higher in calories. That's okay. It is a very slow digesting carb. This is a serving size, dry of course, and then you go and add water with it. You make it with water, not with whatever else. And that is only 150 calories. You tack on some berries to make it tasty, and maybe your banana or your half a banana, and now all of a sudden you've got a winning, tasty, nutritious carb for breakfast. Over here you've got a whole entire plate full of sweet potato, which is only 100 calories, you guys. That's 100 calories. You have this with your dinner, and trust me, you're gonna be filled up. And that's a great way to go. This is a slow digesting carb. That's a winner. We want this for a good hefty dose of carbs for your day. All right, now moving on. We've got your protein category. We've got a no-fat protein. If you ate this whole entire thing, you're talking about 70 calories per serving times 4. That's it. So if you ate that whole entire thing, that contributes to this day. Not saying you should, but anyway, my point is this fits into your protein category. And these things, tuna, I'm telling you, look at this, 70 calories per pouch, and you've got 1 gram of fat, 1 gram of carb, and 15 grams of protein. Now we're winning. This is going to help you get balanced throughout your day. Rather than eating a carb-heavy day, this will allow you to catch up and get your proteins back on track, or caught up to the rest of your foods. All right, now it's not the most cleanest thing in the world, but all things considered, not the worst, and also given the entire day as a whole, we're doing okay. I've got venison here, and so we're looking at 300 calories of meat right here. This, if you chop this in half, I mean, have that twice, that's a huge amount of protein, and that's pretty good for your day. There's a little bit of fat there as well, but over here we've got protein and fat with your eggs. Of course, I highly suggest eggs. Maybe you go with fewer yolks if you are a female and or very lean and you're looking to lean up even more. Over here we've got oil. So I suggest cooking with coconut oil if it's a medium temperature or higher, but this right here would be like an olive oil, or this is an MCT oil. You could cook with oils. I know that if you're making eggs or veggies of sorts, you're going to be having some oil in there, or maybe depending on how you cook your things, maybe it's butter, but anyways, you've got a little of that thrown into your diet. So you've got a good healthy fat here, you've got good healthy fat here, good healthy fat there. So this is your fat category and protein. And then as we move over to the left, we've already talked about carbs, we've talked about proteins and fats. But lastly, we've got like your very low to no calorie foods around the outside. So all this, like, we're not talking about many calories at all. The fiber mitigates a lot of that calorie, plus you're going to, like, this really cranks up your metabolism. So one serving of this is like that, and it's literally 40 calories. I would not sweat it one bit. You can have as much of this stuff as you want. And right here, like, no calories. Sauerkraut. What in the world do you do with sauerkraut? This 0 calorie food, you would add it to pretty much several meals to make them better. Add it to your meat. Add it to your eggs. Believe it or not, that's quite tasty. Personally, I do those things, and I also eat it by the forkful. And the beautiful thing about this is it's tasty, and it's naturally fermented, so this has some probiotics. Good stuff for your gut. And moving on, pickles help spice up your meals to give them a little extra flavor and taste. Same thing with salsa. And I didn't even show you, but you've got like a red hot would also be a nice addition, or we've got mustard. Look at the calories in mustard. Pretty nice, wouldn't you say? 0. All right, so there you go. A couple more options for you. Anyways, I hope this was helpful. All this food for 1,700 calories. Be my guest. Cram it home. Make sure you're not missing your protein. Make sure we're not going hog wild with carbs, and make sure we're choosing the right quality carbs and the right quality fats. All right, so as opposed to this kind of quality of carb and fat. All right, I hope that was helpful, and if you found it to be helpful, make sure you like, comment, and share. Give me your feedback. Holler at me if you have any questions. All right, thanks a lot. See ya.